Hello and welcome to the Front Office Podcast. I am your host, Marcus Cameron. And as always, our show is sponsored by Tees and Trees Clothing. Tees and Trees is where we stand on business. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're checking into the show, man. We appreciate the check-in. As always, if you could, please click on the likes, subscribe, share, follow button, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Follow us everywhere. We're not as consistent with our content, I should say. Only because shit, man, I'm just trying to manage this shit, to be real with you, man. Like, I got a whole family, a son in college, a daughter getting ready to go off to college, new job, business kind of thriving a little bit. It's a lot. It's a lot to manage, man. But that it doesn't mean I should sell the people who actually tune into the channel short. So I apologize for the inconsistency. I'll be way more consistent. Especially since the NBA playoffs are about to start. We're going to talk a little NBA this morning. We're going to talk some free agency and probably just some reactions, just the overall of the ongoing old heads versus new heads in the NBA, the controversy it causes online, man. But as you can see, I'm rocking my Lander gear this morning. My son is actually going to be running at his first college track meet this morning. Very proud of him. Very proud moment for a father. We all proud of him, but for me, super, super proud of him. So congratulations, Aaron. I don't care what place you place in, man. You got 4 years, bro. The fact that you about to step onto a track as a collegiate athlete is a huge accomplishment to me. But let's talk a little bit of NFL free agency. NFL free agency has started off with a bang. Everybody's moving. The Raiders are buying every free agent on the market. Minnesota signs Kyler Murray. Some other big signings, Henderson and with the Ravens. The Max Crosby fiasco. It's a lot going on, man. But I want to concentrate on my team, of course. The signing of Kyler Murray. I had a couple people reach out to me. Shout out Mioka, shout out John, because we were talking about this on the Hot Seats podcast. And, man, I ain't gonna lie. I did not want us to sign Kyler Murray. I didn't want us to sign Kyler Murray, not because I don't like the guy or anything like that, but this is my team. I want our quarterback to be focused on football. And, a lot of reports have been that he's not very focused on football. Inconsistent, has had some peaks though. You know what I mean? 2-time All-Pro. I believe they've been to the playoffs once. Even if they haven't been to the playoffs, he's played well enough and had a well enough career for me to be able to see that there is talent there. There's some positives with that. We signed him for the vet minimum. I think it's like $1.3 or $1.6 million. So we didn't burn the cap up getting him. He's going to be able to compete. And if JJ is who they think JJ is, guess what? JJ will beat him out. But I don't think he is, and I think Kyler Murray wins that starting job. I like pairing him with our coaching staff. Offensively, Kevin O'Connell, I think, is second to none in the NFL, except for maybe my guy over there with the Bears. He's definitely an offensive guru. I think Kevin O'Connell is up there. He's definitely top 5. So bringing him to that, I don't know. If he can stay healthy, man, it's a plus for us, but we still got a lot of holes. I've seen a lot of reports talking about, the Vikings are Super Bowl contenders now. Let's pump your fucking brakes. You don't know the Vikings like I know the Vikings, bro. And Brian Flores is a great defensive coordinator, but that defense got some holes in it, and we need to fill it. Pause. That was crazy. We need to fill a few holes defensively. I think before that we need to make sure we get a consistent running game. I don't think we're going to get a Jeremiah Love at pick number 18, but I'm going to look over the board. I think running back should definitely be the focus, as well as offensive line. Maybe even offensive line before running back. If it's a guy out there that's really, really good and he might slip to, I don't know, second round, got multiple picks this year, man. Be smart. I think we'll be fine. Man. Didn't really agree with some of the money that's been shelled out to these players, but shout out to them for getting that bag. I'm not mad at them at all. I think I think it's Pierce. Oh, I forget the guy's name that signed with Pittsburgh. I'm sorry. He played for the Colts. I know who he is. I put money on him on parlays before. Good wide receiver, got a big bag from the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was a pretty big bag. And you know, I guess he's supposed to compliment DK Metcalf, but then they actually spent money and got Rico Dotto, and didn't have to spend a whole lot of money. And I thought that was a great signing. Pittsburgh's making moves. It just their quarterback situation is up in the air right now. So it is what it is, man. But we want to move on to the biggest portion of the show, the last portion of the show, because I got to get ready to go to this track meet. Bam Adebayo scores 83 points and breaks the fucking internet because it is all kind of fucking opinions from way this side to way that side, pros, coaches, everybody, man. So let me tell you what I think about it. Bam Adebayo drops 83 points on the Washington Wizards in a game. It was Wednesday night, Saturday morning now. I'm late. Y'all know how I am. But plus I like to take my time. I don't like to just jump out there with an opinion. I like to view both sides and hear both arguments and then, kind of make my own decision on it. And I think social media is the problem with that 83. I think social media is the problem with that 83. And what I mean by that is it's so fast that I'm not sure if social media was a big thing when Kobe scored that 81. You know what I mean? Maybe not as normalized as it is now. And for everybody to react and immediately shit on it. I mean, immediately shit on it. Like, reporters was asking questions after the game that was crazy towards it. And it's like, bro, it doesn't make Bam better than Kobe, man. It doesn't make Bam a better player than Kobe Bryant. And I'm not saying that Bam Adebayo can't get there. Like, he's still young. I've been high on Bam Adebayo for a long time. I asked my homie Jizzle. I told him I've been high on Bam for a very, very, very long time, and I know he's capable. He's a different type of big man. He's a very, very much like a Joker style player, just not as productive as Joker is. But yeah, I mean, he can pass, he can shoot, he can dribble, plays defense. He's an all-star, bro. Like, it should be respected. It should be respected. This ain't a bench player coming in there, no offense to the bench players, and just chunking up a bunch of shots. Like, he had 30 and a quarter, bro. Like, he had a very hot quarter. Everybody's talking about the free throws. Bro, if Shaq could shoot 80% from the line, he'd average 50 points a game. He would have averaged 50 points a game. Oh, he shot 46. Go back and look at the fouls. They were fouling him. And if that coach was that fucking naive or that zoned out after he had 30 and a quarter to not double team after that, what you want Bam to do? Stop shooting? Kobe, in that same situation, would have absolutely, if the record was 80, he would have fucking went for it. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. Kobe would have scored 100 in that motherfucking game against Dallas when he had 62 points after 3 quarters. He would have got close to a fucking 100 that night, but he checked out. He was fine. Everybody act like Kobe checked himself out. No, Phil, he probably gave Phil the nod, and Phil probably agreed. But that's a player and a coach working together. This player coach with Eric Spoelstra and Bam, bro, he probably asked Bam, man, you want to go for it? All right, bet. They up. Everybody's like, oh, they're up by so many points. Let me tell you what it is, man. And this is from the heart. I believe this. I've been thinking about this shit for the last few days. The reason why it's not respected because it was Bam. Everybody's like, oh, the Kobe fans are going crazy. It's not just the Kobe fans. It's the Jordan fans. It's some LeBron fans. It's anybody who feels that Bam Adebayo is not worthy of that 83. So you try to diminish it by saying, oh, I don't like the way he did it and blah, 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 and blah, and all this other bullshit. Let me tell you something, man. Y'all respected that Kobe 81 because Kobe was out there cooking and they was down. Nobody mentions that the Toronto Raptors were one of the worst teams in the league, so why were you down in the first place? And then trying to come back, all you did in the entire fourth quarter, because you had it going and you're Kobe Bryant, was chuck up every time down the floor. Every fucking time down the floor. The man did not pass the ball. Y'all didn't have a problem with that? then why do you have a problem with this? Why do you have a problem with this? This is so fucking stupid, bro. Like, nobody is saying that performance is better than Kobe's. I'm gonna be real with you, bro. LeBron game 6 against Boston when he was in Miami, that performance is better than both of those. And he didn't have nowhere near fucking 81 points or 83 fucking points. That performance is a way better performance than that. It was something on the line. The season was on the line. If you don't win, they breaking up your team. It was way more implications. But we talking about regular season, I absolutely have Kobe's 81 as my top. As a matter of fact, Kobe probably got, if I had to name top 5 performances regular season, Kobe probably has 2 of those. And I'm torn between whether I want to put the 60 piece in the Garden up there. You know what I mean? Kobe has a lot of those. LeBron doesn't have a lot of those. Mike has a lot of those because those guys are scorers. Like, that's how they affect the game. That's how they affect the game. Bam Adebayo is not a scorer. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not the guy that's going to give you 30, 40 on the regular in the playoff series. Is he possible? Is it possible for, or is he capable? Absolutely. But that's not his role on the team. That's not the kind of player that he is. And I think the old players or the older guys, and I'm kind of old too. But I don't think a lot of them who say some of the crazy shit about the new school, I don't think a lot of their IQ grew with the game. And what I mean by that is you can have the opinion that those players I would say early 90s, late 80s for if you 40 and above, if you can go back even further than that, if you're still here with us. But it was different. The game, the IQ, the things that players could do because of the rules and things of that nature, it was different. And as we have grown up, the game has changed. And I feel like my IQ kind of grew with the game. I can appreciate somebody saying Jordan is the GOAT or Kobe's the GOAT or LeBron is the GOAT. But what I can't appreciate is that you would try to diminish everything else around them to try to prove one of them better than the other. Like, well, LeBron went against the Eastern Conference. Hey, bro, I'm not sure if you know this or not. There's some Hall of Famers that he beat on the way to getting some new championships or going to the finals. Kobe, there's some Hall of Famers on that road to beating, to getting championships. Jordan, it's a lot of Hall of Famers. There's a lot of people that the great ones or the elite of the elite have gone through in order to achieve the greatness. And we've seen it with all of them. One of them's record is 4-6. He got a losing record, but he's got 4. Kobe's got 5. Mike's got 6. That's a pretty close. That's a really, really close, comparison when you're talking about championships. And then, because of social media, we go even further. Oh, well, Bron did it this way and Kobe did it this way and Mike did it this way. And I just feel like the older guys' IQ didn't grow with the game. They didn't process what was going on. They're not processing the society, the atmosphere, how things are different, even from the high school level. And you're not processing that. And it's hard for you to watch. It's something that you don't like. You don't like the product. I would prefer you say you don't like the product than to try to trash the young guys. And it goes the same way for the young guys looking back at that stuff that we saw in the 90s and the 80s, bro. Like, just because it was slow, it looked slow to you and whatever. No, that was real basketball. And I'm going to be honest with you, some of them could still fuck you up right now with that old ass basketball. You know what I mean? Because you don't have some of the fundamentals those guys have. So it's comparable, but you just got to appreciate each generation a little differently. And I think that's what's going on with the Bam thing. Everybody has an opinion about it immediately, and almost every one of the older players didn't care for it. Some of the current players or newly retired players are okay with it. They gave them shout outs. And then you got the fan junkies. If you're a Kobe fan, you did not like it at all. You did not like that shit at all. If you're a Jordan fan, I think you're kind of up and down because I think Bam is with the Jordan brand some kind of way. So, he got that Jordan stamp. But it is what it is, man. But listen, I'm going to check in again. Playoffs are starting very, very soon. College, NCAA. I'm thinking about doing an NCAA tournament series covering all the rounds if I can find the time. But as always, man, I'm your host, Marcus Cameron. It's the Front Office Podcast. Tees and Trees is the clothing line. Peace.